Hello friends. Friends, in this video, we'll learn a star delta starter start, stop, trip indicator connection practically. First understand why we connect indicator in motor starter. As its name indicator, so it's a main purpose to indicate. If the start indicator glows, then we can understand our starter is in a start position. If the stop indicator glows, then we can understand our starter in the stop position. If trip indicator glows, then we can understand our starter in trip positions. In this video, we'll learn start stop trip indicator connection practically. If you want to watch star delta starter control wiring connection, so we make previous video very easily. If you want to watch, link provides in description, so you can watch very easily. So let's start and understand how to connect a start stop and trip indicator in star delta starter. So first to operate star delta starter, how it works. So we start control MCB. When we start push button, our main contactor and star contactor operate. If we set 10 seconds in this timer, so our main contactor and star contactor operate for 10 seconds. When 10 seconds is completed, star contactor will stop and delta contactor will run. So after 10 seconds, main contactor and delta contactor operate. Okay. When we start push button, main and star operate. Okay. So just watch, main star operate, after timing completed delta and main operate. Okay, main star operated, delta operate. Okay, it's a simple process of star delta starter. Now we understand how to connect indicator in star delta starter. So for indicator connection, we need to connect a add-on block to main contactor. If your contactor have two NO terminal and one NC terminal, then you can run easily, because one is for holding supply, one for a start indicator, one for a stop indicator. So our contactor has only one NO terminal, so we need to connect one add-on block. Okay, because we need one NO and one NC terminal. Okay, we fit add-on block properly. So first understand indicator connection. Our indicator is a 220 volt operating voltage, so we need to give phase and neutral. So we connect a neutral directly and phase through controlling. So first we connect a neutral. You can give neutral from anywhere. Okay, so our star contactor has a neutral point here, so we connect one looping from a star contactor NO terminal and loop all three indicator. So we connect a neutral to all three indicator from star contactor neutral point. Okay, so all three indicator gets neutral. Now we understand how to give phase to all the indicator. First understand where to take supply. Okay, so we can take one wire external from MCB, or we can take supply from NC of overload relay, and you can take NC of start push button or holding supply. Okay, so holding supply comes here directly, so we can take from holding supply. Okay, when holding supply comes, then our starter operate. Okay, so we take holding supply one wire. Okay, for our start stop indicator connection. We can take also from overload relay, NC terminal or start push button, where supply comes continuously. So holding supply comes continuously, so we can take one wire from holding supply. And contactor NO terminals, main contactor NO terminals have holding supply. So we connect one connector here and gives one terminal to add-on block NC terminal and one to the NO terminal. Okay, so first connect one link from holding supply and gives to the NO and NC of add-on block. So we connect one wire from holding supply and connect a looping from NO and one looping from NC terminal of main contactor. Now first understand start indicator connection. Okay, so for start indicator, we use add-on block NO terminal. Okay, when our main contactor operate, this means NO makes NC and supply pass. Okay, so supply pass and indicator will close only when our main contactor operate. Okay, so for main contactor, main basically देखा जाए तो for start indication we use main contactor NO terminal. When our starter operate, NO makes NC and start indicator will close. That means our start indicator glows, we can understand our starter is in start positions. So we connect one wire from here to main contactor NO terminal. Now understand a stop indicator connection. For a stop indicator, we use add-on block NC terminal. Okay, when our starter is in a stop position, then NC makes NC and supply comes here. Only pass when our starter is in a stop position. Okay, so we connect add-on block NC terminal for stop indicator connection. So we connect one looping from add-on block NC terminal and gives to the stop indicator. When a stop indicator glows, then we can understand our starter is in a stop position. So we connect one wire from a stop indicator. Our stop indicator connection complete. Now understand how to connect a trip indicator. For trip indicator, you can take one loop from overload relay NO terminal. Okay, from this supply. But we can also supply our NC terminal supply comes directly. So we take one looping from overload relay NC terminal and gives to the overload relay NO terminal. Okay, first gives to the one looping to the overload relay NO terminal. You can take one loop from holding supply, but overload relay NC supply comes directly. So we connect one looping from overload relay NC to overload relay NO. Okay, when our motor started trip, then overload relay NO makes NC and supply passes and our trip indicator glows. So when our trip indicator glows, then we can understand our motor started in trip. Okay, so we connect one loop here and gives to the trip indicator. When our overload relay trip, then NO makes NC and trip indicator will glows. Okay, so we connect one loop here. So our start stop trip indicator connection completed. But remain one thing. This you cannot only check trip indicator by pressing overload relay this plunger. This NO makes NC only when our starter is in trip. You cannot check manually. This NO makes NC only when our starter is trip. Then overload relay NO makes NC and our trip indicator glows. Now understand how our indicator works. Okay, when start control MCB, then our starter is in a stop position. The stop positions, then stop indicator should glow. Okay, stop indicator glows when we start our starter. Start indicator will glow. Okay, start indicator glows. Okay, when stop indicator glows, start indicator glows, stop, start. Okay, and trip indicator only when glow our starter will trip, and you cannot check manually by pressing this button. This indicator only glows when our starter will trip. Okay, start, stop. So I hope you understand the concept of start stop trip indicator connection. If you like video, press like button, and if you have any query, please ask in comments box. For today's enough. We'll meet next video. Thanks for watching.